So, good afternoon, good evening. Hope everyone is well. Roll on Wednesday, says Charlie. It is Wednesday. You mean next Wednesday, yeah? A week to go. Thank you, Kane. Appreciate that, my friend. Yeah, week to go. Literally counting down the days. And good afternoon. Hi, everybody in the chat room. Evening, good evening. I'm very well, thank you. My back's still in pieces, but yeah, other than that, I'm very good. Hi from Baku. Are you actually in Baku? Good afternoon, everybody. But yeah, I've got a video scheduled in for tonight, 9 o'clock. Emery has done his press conference. So I just went through some of the main talking points that he went through. Thank you, everybody in the chat room. Good evening. But yeah, I went through some of the talking points. So that's scheduled in for 9 o'clock tonight. Turn the bell on, you will not miss that. Thoughts on part 2 of the Raul and Vinay interview. I haven't watched it yet. I watched part 1. I haven't watched part 2. I did go on Twitter a minute ago very quickly, and somebody had put a quote up from Raul about the Ramsay contract situation. So basically, I read that, but other than that, I haven't seen anything. So yeah, I'll watch that later on this evening. And then tomorrow afternoon, I'll do a live stream, get you guys involved as well. And we'll go through all the talking points over the 2 parts. So I'll watch both parts. Obviously, I watched part 1. I watched that yesterday. I will watch part 2 tonight. I'll actually watch part 1 again and then watch part 2 straight after. I'll take some notes and then we'll get involved tomorrow and we'll go through it all. But yeah, I thought, yeah, a week to go. It seems like this is taking forever to get to this final. I think the fact that it's been, what, 2.5 weeks, 3 weeks by the time we actually play it, I think it's too long. I think they should have had it a little bit closer. But that being said, obviously some of the other leagues are still going. We've seemed to have finished super early, and it's like they've rushed all of these games, Monday, Saturday, Thursday, Sunday. Why have they rushed them? You know, every other league's still going, so, or just finished. So I don't quite get that. Brighton's going very well, thank you. but yeah, I thought, yeah, let's have a little conversation about it. Obviously, we see the news yesterday that Cech is going back to Chelsea as sporting director. I watched Maurizio Sarri's press conference earlier today as well. He has confirmed that Kante is back in training. He trained yesterday. Or today, I can't remember, I think it was today actually, that he trained. They had 3 days off after they came back from Boston. Rudiger's definitely missing. Obviously, we know Loftus-Cheek and Hudson-Odoi are both going to miss as well. But the fact that Kante is back in training would suggest that he is going to be in contention to start. So yeah, we'll see what happens with that one. But yeah, I thought that, you know, when I've watched Welbeck in the final, yes or no, I'd have him on the bench. But I wouldn't start him, no chance. Was Cech professional when he gifted the one to Fabregas last time we played Chelsea? Do you know what? Everyone keeps banging on about Cech's professionalism, this and that, right? And he has been a good professional. We can't knock him on that. But at the same time, is it professional to have done what he's done before we're about to play Chelsea? I mean, obviously somebody at Chelsea has leaked that. But then I look at it on the flip side. Yes, I do have a can of Stella, by the way. But then I look at it on the flip side. Nobody's in meltdown about Aaron Ramsay tying up a deal to Juve mid-season. So, you know, just because Petr Cech's done it and he's going back to Chelsea, I think the meltdown's been a little bit over the top. Is Cech a legend at Arsenal or not? No chance, mate. No chance. But yeah, big up yourselves all in the chat. 165 people watching. Smash the likes, please. But yeah, Aaron Ramsay has obviously tied up a deal to Juve on mega money mid-season. He's still put in the commitment. He's still been professional about the way he's gone about his business, about the way he's conducted himself on and off the pitch. I don't expect Cech to do anything other than be professional. And let's be real, he probably wants to go out with a bang with a trophy in his hand. So I don't know. Listen, I personally wouldn't play him. but he is going to play. Let's be real. So we can all sit here and cry and have a meltdown over it. He is going to play. Emery also spoke about the fact that we've only got 6,000 tickets. He wasn't too happy about that. He also wasn't too happy about Mkhitaryan, but he respects his decision not to go, which I do as well. Listen, at the end of the day, you've got to look after yourself. You've got to look after number one. And if Mickey don't think he's going to be safe going to Azerbaijan, then don't go. And it put a spotlight on the Arsenal squad in Azerbaijan if he went, which can only be detrimental to the squad. So fair play to him. Listen, at the end of the day, you know, he hasn't been great for Arsenal, but he has played more minutes in midfield than anyone in the Europa League for Arsenal. So he's helped us get to the final, let's be real. Whether you love him or not, he's helped us get to the final. And he is going to be a miss. He is an impact player if he comes off the bench. If he starts, I don't think he's so great. But when he does come off the bench, I think he's a lot better. But it is what it is. He can't go. Well, he's chose not to go. And I think that's the right decision as well, if I'm being honest. But what I noticed from Sarri's press conference was that the first 5 minutes of it, they were literally, he was like a rabbit in the headlights. They were literally just battering him about whether he's going to go, whether he's going back to Italy, to Roma or to Juventus. They were saying about Hazard. And the thing is, like, as much as we've got all the drama around Arsenal right now, with Cech and all that, you know, and the fact that this final's in the middle of nowhere and Mkhitaryan, the situation with him, Chelsea have got just as much. So, you know, Chelsea have got the whole Eden Hazard, is he staying, isn't he staying? They've got the Maurizio Sarri issue, is he staying, is he getting sacked? And do you know what? I kind of felt sorry for him watching this press conference because, look, at the end of the day, if we had finished third, if we had got to the League Cup final, and then obviously we've got to the Europa League final, we'd say Sarri's had a good season. Not Sarri, sorry, Emery would have had a good season, wouldn't we? We'd been over the moon. We would have got Champions League, we would have got to a League Cup final, and we're in a Europa League final. But I suppose that shows the mentality of Chelsea Football Club compared to Arsenal Football Club. The fact that their fans demand better than finishing third and losing a final and being in another. They expect to be up there challenging for titles. And that is something that Chelsea have had installed in them since Abramovich rocked up. So, you know, there is a little bit of a circus around Arsenal right now, but there's also a circus around Chelsea. You know, and the meltdown about Cech, I think, is a little bit over the top. I don't think he's going to try and throw a final, let's be real. We all knew that he's a Chelsea man, let's be honest. But I think the same as Ramsay, I think they are two of the best professionals in terms of going about their business in the club and in the Premier League as well. Let's be real. You don't ever see either of them in the papers for the wrong reasons. You don't see them ever doing anything untoward. They're always the model pros. They always go and give their shirts to fans at the end of games and stuff like that. They always applaud the fans. A lot of players in the Premier League and at Arsenal could learn from both of them. And I know they're both going, but listen, you can't buy class, and both of them have been class on and off the pitch at times at Arsenal. Listen, Cech's not been massively great for us compared to his Chelsea days. Aaron Ramsay, listen, like, good player. From what I read, the quote that Raul said, it was that, look, he was asking for too much money. That was the short and curlies of it. And we decided we couldn't have an unbalance on the wage bill. We've already got one with Mesut Ozil's wage. If we slapped him on 200-300 grand a week, along with Aubameyang and players like that, all of a sudden your wage bill is just absolutely pathetic. We can't do that. So we've allowed to let him go for nothing. But he's negotiated a good deal. It's a fair play to him. I'm not sure whether he knew that Allegri would be leaving, but it is what it is. He's going to one of the best clubs in world football, so good luck to him. Cech's going back to Chelsea, good luck to him. We move on, you know, and we go off to Baku next week, full of confidence. Let's be real, we've got two of the best strikers in the Premier League. We've actually played really well in this competition at times, especially against the better teams, not so much against the lesser teams like Rennes and Barté. But against the bigger teams, the better teams, we have actually performed really well against Napoli and Valencia. So I'm full of confidence. I think we're going to win it. If we don't, we don't. You know, at the end of the day, we've got there. It's 50-50. If Chelsea turn up, we've got a game on our hands. If Eden Hazard turns up, he's going to be nigh on impossible to stop, let's be real. And it could be his last game. So we shall see. But I'm looking forward to it. It's a shame that it's going to take another week before it's played. I would have liked to have seen it played earlier, but that's not the case. But we go again. We have to go count down the days now. Count down to Baku. All right, let's do some of your questions. What do you think about Pep leaving to go to Juventus? Is he really? Or is that just hearsay? If he is leaving, then I wouldn't blame him. He's won pretty much everything, can he? Yeah, the friendly match is tomorrow, I think. Yeah, it's behind closed doors. If you could take one Tottenham player, who would it be? Somebody asked me that yesterday, Oliver. Heung-min Son. Best bar to watch the final in London, says Mark Sargent. That's a good question, mate. I don't know who's showing it, if I'm being completely honest. I don't know where everyone's going. I know I think the Arsenal Away Boys, the band, I think they're playing in a place called Club Aquarium, I think. You might have to go and check their Twitter handle out, mate. But I think that's where a lot of Arsenal fans are going to be. Club Aquarium, I think it's called. Claude made a great point about Cech in his last game, that he would want to finish his career with a trophy, says Nick and Nels. Yeah, that's a great point, and it is a good point he's made, because listen, at the end of the day, Cech, if anyone thinks Cech's going to throw the game, then seriously, man, he ain't going to throw the game. Is it free on YouTube and BT Sport? Yeah, I think they're showing it free to everyone, mate. Yeah, the 12 Pins is a good pub. The Tollington, I'm sure they'll be having it. I think the Aquarium, I think because there's a band there, the Away Boys band, I think there's a fee. I think it's 10 quid to go to get in. Not sure about anyone else. I'm actually shocked that Arsenal ain't doing a live screening at the Emirates, because they would have sold out for that. Live watch along with Chig. Unfortunately, I won't be, mate. I'm not doing one, unfortunately. I've got something else lined up, but I can't say that yet. Do you watch cricket? Nope. I don't mind a little bit of 2020 cricket, but test match cricket's so boring, mate. Best North London derby of all time. The one where we won the league there in 2004, and they thought that a draw meant that we couldn't win the league, only to realise we'd won the league. How many more years would you give Emery to achieve our objectives if he don't achieve next season's objective, says Omar? Well, we can trigger a 1 year extension. I think we're going to do that, to be honest with you. But listen, if you give him 4 or 5 years, look at Klopp. You know, Klopp came in there and they were as bad as us defensively. Now look at them. So you've got to give somebody a bit of time. Do you know what I mean? Do you like boxing, says James? Yes, I do, mate. I do. What do you think the budget would be? I get asked this every day. If we win the Europa, I think I don't buy into this. You know, it'd be more money if we get in the Champions League. I'm homeless. So, yeah, good one, mate. I'm sat in my house, and you can get a block. Bye bye. Get off my channel. Yeah, I don't think the budget will change, mate. If I'm being honest, whether I've got a stinking cold as well. Do you know that? I don't think it'll change regardless of whether we get in Europa League or not, because I think there's going to be players that are going to be leaving the club anyway. So I don't think it'll change. I think it'll be over 100 million with sales. Derby or Aston Villa in the playoffs, says Jaded. I want Derby. I can't stand John Terry and I can't stand Jack Grealish. How's the back? Absolutely battered, mate. Literally battered. Would you take Allegri right now? I'll be honest, I wouldn't, mate, because we've got a final next week. But all jokes aside, no, I don't think I would right now, if I'm being honest. I think Emery's done all right. Stella or Heineken? Stella. Heineken gives me a banging headache, man. Stella's all right, though. Why didn't we win the league when Leicester won it, says Thierry. Because there was nobody available other than Cech, mate. That's why. Well, why do you look at me? Apparently nobody was available. If we'd bought a striker, then I reckon we would have won it. You know, if we had Lacazette or Aubameyang in that season, we would have won it by a canter, mate. Wenger or Emery, mate. You're probably better off not asking me that question, mate, because it's Emery for me right now. Would you take Gareth Bale? Says Deviant Geo. Yeah, Devanti Geo. Yes, I would, mate. I would take Gareth Bale. How comes you do more live streams than normal videos? I don't, mate, to be honest. One a day. I do 3 videos a day. Only one's a live stream. Yesterday I did 2 because obviously the news broke about Petr Cech. But every day, transfer day, daily transfer update, I'll get my words out in a minute, is pre-recorded. Then I'll do my live stream in the afternoon. Then I'll do a video pre-recorded for 9 o'clock. So Alex, thank you for that, my friend. Hi Lee, would you have been happy to have kept Ozil on 150 grand a week? Don't get what Xhaka does and why fans love him. I wouldn't have kept Ozil full stop, mate, if I'm being honest, because I don't think he's done anything other than maybe, you know, people go on about assists and all that, yeah. And I get told all the time, like, oh yeah, but as soon as Ozil came, we ended our trophy drought. Sonogo did more in the final than Ozil, let's be real. I think Ozil's only scored 1 goal in the 3 cup wins along the way. Sanchez scored 2 final goals, 2 semi-goals. Ramsay, well, obviously we know about him. Cazorla with a banger. Mertesacker, Koscielny, the list goes on and on and on. Giroud, Walcott. So, and as for Xhaka, I don't know why people rate him, mate, because I don't get it. I genuinely can't see what he does. Lee, thank you for that, my friend. Love your content. Always liked your AFTV interviews. Thank you, mate. Good name, by the way. I'll just say what I think, mate. I'm just like, you know, just say what I think. And if people agree with it, cool. But if they don't agree with it, you know, be respectful about it. At the end of the day, I don't go digging people out about their opinions. You know, I don't rate Ozil. People do. That's up to them. I don't sit there digging into people about it. I didn't rate Wenger for a long time. Other people idolise him. So it is what it is. I just say what I see. And if somebody's playing well, I'll say they've played well. If they don't, then I'll say it. Are we ready for Champions League, says Steve K. Good question. I don't think we are, you know. I don't think we are. I think that we need to fix our defence rapidly. Otherwise, we're going to get taken apart in that by some better teams. Imagine Neymar and Mbappe running at our defence, you know what I'm saying? Do you like Frank Lampard? Who asked me that? Isaac Jones. Yes, I do like Frank Lampard. I do like him. Hi Lee, watching from 2 a.m. in Australia. Jesus Christ, mate. What do you think of Aubameyang? I feel like he's missed too many easy chances this season. Thank you, Dr. S.T. 2 a.m. You're crazy, man. Do you know what? I like Aubameyang. And a lot of people dig me out for saying I'd get rid if the right money comes along. But I would. I'd get rid of him. If somebody bids 80 million quid or more, that's double our biggest transfer out of the club. And that was Overmars about 20 years ago. So the guy's 30 years old. He's not as quick as he used to be. We've seen that umpteen times this season. He misses a sitter every single game, sometimes 2 a game. But he has bagged 31 goals. So I don't know, man. If somebody comes in and bids 80 million quid for him, I'd get rid of it. I'd get rid of him. Right, nearly 400 people watching, only 89 likes. Please put a like on the video. Gideon says, I am watching live 1:30 a.m. from South Korea. Big up, man. Big up yourself, bruv. Thank you for watching at that time of the morning. Ziyech or Pepe. Ziyech. Disagree on the Aubameyang thing. No, I get that. Listen, we've been crying out for good strikers for a long, long time, and he is a good striker. The only reason I would say I'd get rid if the right money come along is because from the transfer fee to the end of his contract, we're going to have done £90 million. and we still ain't in the Champions League. Yes, he could help us get there by scoring in the final, but he's 30 years old. You know, and we're going to sign a £60 million striker on 200 grand a week and let him walk out for free when he retires. So if a bid for £80 million comes in, that replaces 2 areas of the pitch that need replacing, which can be better going forward over the 2 years. Do you see what I'm trying to say? But listen, I get why people would keep him. I'd love to keep him. But if the money comes in, I'd take the money. Take the money if it's getting reinvested. If it ain't getting reinvested, keep him. If you haven't already watched part 2 of the interview with Raul, I haven't, Sean, I haven't watched it yet. I've watched part 1. I'm going to watch part 1 and then I'm going to watch part 2 back to back. I've already watched part 1, but I'm going to watch them back to back. I'll write some points down and some key notes of that. And then tomorrow afternoon, around this sort of time, I will do another live stream, asking a few questions as well. Just going through the talking points, basically, and then I'll get your thoughts on it, get you guys involved as well, and see what you guys think as well. Would you take Sanchez back? Yeah, I'll take him back to Chile and leave him there. Raul essentially blames Wenger for Ramsay's contract. Mr. Will Grigg. Is that the real Will Grigg? Will Grigg's on fire. Your defence is terrified. Yeah, I did see the quote. I see somebody posted it on Twitter. A Twitter account posted the quote, basically saying that he was trying to ask for more money, and we couldn't have an imbalance on the squad and on the club going forward on the wage bill. So basically, he was saying that Ramsay wanted to stay, but he wanted too much money. But we'll go through that tomorrow. I've seen more of Lee than I've seen my wife in the last 3 days. There's Big Baby Farmer. How many of these players would get into the Invincible team? Absolutely none of them. If you think the players we had on the bench in that Invincible era as well, man, we had Edu Gaspar on the bench. He was a baller, man. Pistol, thank you very much for that, my friend. Lacazette, maybe. Yeah, maybe. But then if you look, we had Antonio Reyes. I remember his debut. He banged 2 goals against Chelsea on his debut. We had Reyes. We had Bergkamp. Do you know what I'm saying? That was a good team, man. Good team. Emery as well. We had a mad team back then, man. Now look at us. Pires was a baller, man. That guy always used to score against Tottenham. Very similar to how Rosicky took over from that as well. So it's gone, and it was funny at both number 7s as well. People used to call him Agent Cech. It ain't a joke no more. Do you know what? I don't think, I said this very early on in the stream, right? I don't think, listen, at the end of the day, Cech is a Chelsea man. We know that. I don't think he wanted to leave Chelsea. I think that obviously Thibaut Courtois was there. He weren't going to get a look in. And I think that was the right decision at the time. If you're a Chelsea fan, Courtois was better than Cech, let's be real. We very nearly didn't sign Petr Cech. We were going to hamper, I think it was Fabianski, was it? Fabianski's career or something. But in the end, we signed him. I would have personally kept Szczesny. I would have made Szczesny number 1. But that ship has sailed, unfortunately. Gaffer, who are you going to sign for Brighton, says Arsenal fan. I'll tell you what I'm going to do. I'm going to give Arsenal Lewis Dunk. Other than Laka and Aubameyang, what would be the highest transfer fee we would receive for another player in the team, says G90. That's a brilliant question. That is a very good question. I'd say probably Lucas Torreira, to be honest with you. Yeah, I'd say Torreira. And I'd say that would be around the 50 million, 45, 50 million. Guendouzi, says Ahmed. But yeah, Guendouzi maybe. Bellerin, yeah, Bellerin's a shout. Fabianski ain't better. What, than Cech? No, I don't think he is better than him, but I think he has the potential to be better than him in terms of you know, how Cech is now for Arsenal since he's been here. He's not been great, has he? Let's be real. Whereas Fabianski, if he had stayed, would he have been better than Cech is now? I think he probably would have, but we can agree to disagree, my friend. Alex, thank you for that, my friend. It's refreshing to hear what Vinay said regarding contracts to older players and senior players. We're either going to renew those contracts or we're going to sell them. Shame it has taken this long. Yes, it is a shame it has taken this long, mate. Yeah, it is a massive, massive shame it has taken this long. But unfortunately, that's what happens, mate, when people get comfortable in their jobs. Gazidis and Wenger were very, very comfortable. They had full reign over the club. One thing I noticed from part one is the fact that both of them said that they speak to the owners every day, and they have a monthly meeting with them. That is something that was like, wow, really? You know, but I just wonder why this is all coming out now. I don't get it. Lee, thank you for that, mate. I definitely will have a pint on that, my friend. Thank you. Right, let's do another 5-10 minutes of questions, and then I'm going to go, because it is actually my father-in-law, his birthday today. What is my future plan? What do you mean, for my channel or life? Liars, Lee, they are liars. Do you know what, right? It was funny because I was sat there and I'm still not quite sure whether it's lip service and they're puppets or whether it is actually genuine. But after part two, I'm going to make my mind up on that. On my channel and my life. My life, mate, I don't know. Make as much money as I can and live comfortable. Make sure my daughter's set up for life. So that's probably my life plan, my channel plan. Pretty much do what I'm doing now. Previews, reviews, starting 11 reactions on the game days, press conference reactions, player ratings. Going forward, I want to start doing podcasts, but I don't want to do that until I get a lot bigger. I've said this before to anybody who hasn't seen it. The podcasts I want to do are going to be completely different to the podcasts that a lot of people do. But I ain't saying no more than that because somebody nicked my idea. So that's all up here for now. But yeah, I do want to do podcasts going forward, but I want to get maybe over 30,000 subs before I do that, because I think it deserves to have a wider reach than doing it now on a lesser reach, if that makes any sense whatsoever. Your content is lit. Thank you very much, Krishna. What's your favourite Arsenal kit of all time, says Nick and Nels. The bruised banana, mate. I used to live in that kit. I used to sleep in that kit. What is my job? I harass people door to door for windows, double glazing. Favourite kids show when you was younger, says Ben. Biker Grove. Loved that. I used to run home from school to watch that. Are you not fasting? No, I'm not. Where did you see Cech to Chelsea was official? Chelsea's website was just a tweet from him. It was on Sky Sports, mate. Sky Sports News. Sky Sports News. Add this to the Baku fund, bruv. N-double-I Dudu Nunu. I hope I have pronounced your name right, my friend. Thank you very much for that, mate. I still don't think I'll be going to Baku, but I'll put it to good use. Thank you. Nearly 500 people watching live and not even 200 likes. Thank you to everyone watching live. Bang the like button for me, please. It gets my channel noticed. It gets it up there. You sound like DT. Really? Emery or Klopp? Emery. Klopp's a good manager, I'll give him that. He is a very good manager. To run Man City that close is unbelievable, mate. To get back-to-back Champions League finals. But he's got to so many finals since he's been at Liverpool and not won nothing yet. But I do think they're going to win it. And fair play to him. After last year with the absolute calamity from the goalkeeper, I think that they've got extra motivation this season, and I think that they'll be fired up massively. His team talk's going to be easy. He's just going to show them that final last season and just say, right, redemption. Pep is going to Juve. That's the second person that's told me that. Is that actually true? For everyone who's joined that's asking me about the second part of the Raul and Vinay interview, I haven't watched part 2. I've watched part 1. I'm going to watch part 2 tonight. I will do a live stream tomorrow afternoon. Get you guys involved as well. I'll go through the main talking points. I'm going to list them all down this evening. And then we'll discuss it and we'll go from there. So no, I haven't watched it yet, but tomorrow I will do a live stream on it. Yeah, it's true. Really? Pep said in an interview he's not going. There you go. Two in a row. Which AFTV member are you closest to? I'd have to say Kenny and Claude and Troops. Them three. In no particular order, by the way. But them three. Kenny and Claude I speak to every single day. Troops is sound. I speak to him every single week. I love him to bits as well. But yeah, them three. Crypto Knowledge Alliance. Great content, Lee. Check out How Do. Will be good for you. Thank you for that, mate. Appreciate that. Cheers, buddy. Jack Butland. Get Jack Butland as our number 2, says Simon Harding. Yes, I would take that in a heartbeat. Philip says, much love from Singapore. Miss you guys. Thank you, mate. Marquez 23, you and DT are my favourites. Thank you, buddy. Why are you so negative about Aubameyang? 1 week, then happy for him and happy for him to stay the next. Because I say it as it is, mate. I don't sugarcoat it. 1 week, if somebody comes in for 80 million or 75 million like Real Madrid were the other week, then yeah, I'd flog him. I'm not negative about him. It's an opinion, mate. It's called an opinion. So I'm not negative about him. I think he's a very good player. But at the same time, like I've said for the umpteenth time, he's 30 years old. He's not going to get any quicker. He's not going to add anything else to his game now. So if an £80 million bid comes in or more, that repairs 2 places in the team that need repairing. So get rid. That's how I see it. That's if we're going to reinvest it. If we ain't going to reinvest it, don't get rid. But £90 million investment for that player that's going to walk away for nothing at the end of the contract. So if you can get £80 million, you've covered the cost of him, and you've replaced 2 areas on the pitch, which is good for the club going forward after 2 years. Check out the new Adidas kits. They have been leaked all over Twitter. Tag me in that, bruv. DM me it, yeah? Thank you. Who would you take to replace Steve Bold? Says G90. I'd take you, mate, because he does nothing. I'm sure you'd do a better job. Breaking news, Man United have bid 25 million for Wan-Bissaka, says Alex Alexander. Yeah, good luck with that. Maybe add another 25 million to it and they'll get him. How do you rate Mbappe? Says this statement is false. I think he needs to go to a better league before we can actually say, yeah, he's up there as one of the top 3 in the world or top 4 in the world. He's a very good player, mate. Don't get me wrong. But he's doing it in a dead league. So do it in the big boy leagues, and yeah, we can say you've absolutely slapped it and you are quality. But mate, he is a fantastic footballer. I would take him at Arsenal in an absolute heartbeat. And I do personally think if he went to a Premier League or a Spanish League team, I think he'd rip it up anyway. But obviously the proof's in the pudding. Keith says Mavropanos, keep, loan or sell. Loan, then try him following season. If you don't cut it, get rid. Check AFTV Twitter page for the Adidas kits. Why would Wan-Bissaka move to a club in steep decline? Money, probably, mate. Lee, you were on the back of a newspaper as a kid. I've still got that newspaper. How do you know that? I actually was on the back of my local newspaper. I scored a goal from the halfway line when I was young. Right, couple more minutes and then I'm out of here. Do you think Harry Maguire or James Maddison will join Arsenal this summer? Personally, I don't think either, but I'd love both. Why would you take Emery over Klopp? Says Aaron. Because he's a winner. Have a look at what Emery's won. And people can say, listen, it is a dead league, like I've just said, right? It is a dead league, but Tuchel has done absolutely nothing in that league compared to what Emery's done last season. Not easy to win a treble, is it? So, you know, Klopp is a very good manager. I think he's underrated massively compared to Pep. But I would still take Emery right now. I think Klopp plays up a lot for the cameras in terms of the passion and all that. It's just, I don't, you know, listen, fair play to him. Listen, Liverpool fans must be buzzing. They're in the Champions League final for the second year in a row. They've got 97 points, which is more than any Man United championship winning team ever got. It's 7 points more than the Invincibles. But they still didn't win it. And they were 7 points clear at one stage. Do you rate Bruno Fernandes, says Cryptic God 11? Yes, I do. What about Clark from Leeds? Big step up, mate. Big step up. Who has done a better job at their new club, Emery or Sarri, says Matthew 0428. I'd say Emery, because let's be real, that Chelsea team, it was only a couple of years ago they won a title, do you know what I'm saying? So, you know, to take them from title down to 5th and then get rid and then go up to 3rd and only 2 points ahead of us, and we were massively crap for 2 seasons. I think Emery's done better. You know, you expect Chelsea to get to finals and stuff like that, you know, and even when they finished 10th, they still fluked the Champions League, didn't they? Alex, thank you for that. Would you swap Verratti for Lucas Torreira? No, but I rate Verratti very highly. But if we keep Torreira, I think he's only going to get better and better and better. I think Verratti's maybe peaked and is on the downward spiral, but he's still a quality player. Have you seen our new kits? I haven't seen them. I'm going to go and have a look in a minute. Love your videos. Yeah, everybody hit the like button, please. Nearly 450 people watching live, only 225 likes. Please give it a thumbs up. It gets my channel noticed, which builds the channel. Do you like David Rocastle? I loved Rocastle. Bale to Arsenal, I'd take him. Lee loves a beer. I do love a beer, man. You know, a couple of beers in the evening, chill out, innit? Right, let's do a couple more questions and I'm gone. Heard Mustafi will sign a 3-year deal, says Khalid. Yeah, hopefully not with Arsenal. Are you trash at Fortnite? Never played it. Opinion on Pep leaving City? Mate, listen, you're about the 5th person that's asked me that. I have not seen any news about Pep leaving, so I'll go and check that out in a minute. How do the likes affect things? Because it boosts the channel up in terms of being noticed, because it's traction on the channel. So the more people that are not subscribed to me, when they turn on their YouTube app, go into their app, if they've watched anything connected to football, mine will automatically be suddenly sat there, even though they're not subscribed to me. So that's how it gets it noticed. Would you take Allegri? I wouldn't. I'd keep Emery for another season, mate. Top 5 Arsenal defenders you have ever witnessed. Tony Adams. I'd say Steve Bold, Sol Campbell. That's 3. Martin Keown, 4. And David O'Leary. Not in that order, by the way. That's just 5. If we lose the final, would it be an unsuccessful year for Unai? I don't think it would. It's the first time we've got to a final for 13 years in the European competition. Worst referee in your opinion? Current referee. John Moss. Overall worst referee I've ever seen was Uriah Rennie. That geezer was an absolute clown. Wow, you put Koss in your top 5. Jesus. Each to their own, man. I don't even think he's top 10 for Arsenal, to be honest with you. But I know a lot of people do. Scalacci gets no love on your list. Seaman or Layman? Seaman. Unreal. Bergkamp for me, mate. Do you miss Serge Gnabry? Not really. He did nothing for Arsenal. Who is one legend of a rival club you would have loved at Arsenal in their prime? Not really a rival club, but Alan Shearer or Didier Drogba. Bruce says, would you keep Mkhitaryan? No, I'd keep him away from Arsenal. Right, I'm going to do one more question, then I'm gone. Right, here we go. I've got the question. Would you take John Joe Shelvey at Arsenal? Not in a million years. 5 guys from McDonald's. There you go. I've asked the second one. Neither. Are you good at FIFA? Yeah, I'm not bad. Decent. You said you... Jesus Christ. Eduardo or Giroud? Eduardo. Aubameyang wants to be an Arsenal legend. Good, I hope he can be. Alan Smith or Francis Jeffers? Is that a trick question, man? Alan Smith. Worst Arsenal player of all time? There's a few, mate. There is a few. Asano could be one of them. Miyachi could be another one. Gus Caesar could be another one, mate. There's too many to mention. Right, I'm gone. Don't forget, 9 o'clock tonight. Turn the bell on. My press conference reaction video will be out. It's already scheduled in there. Keep your eyes peeled for that. Big up yourselves. Thanks to everyone who's watched live, commented, donated as well. Really, really appreciate that. Stick a thumbs up on the video. Share the content around. I'll be back at 9 o'clock this evening.